Hi everyone, trust you all are doing well. So we finished up with creating the tag. Now what we're going to do is we're going to display all the tags. And what we're going to do is we're going to search a tag, all right here. And we can obviously order them. So let me just do this. We can order them by the name, by the ID. So let's say the name. We can order them ascending, or we can do a descending. And we can do obviously the created at date, and we can display how many per page. So that's what we were building in this episode. Another question I just want to pose to you right up front right here. Let me know if you guys want this to be in separate views. So as you can see, we've got the create view right here. We got the index view. So all on the same view underneath each other, right? That can be an option, or I can do tags like this is the index view. And then I can have a create view, and then I can have a show view, all that kind of stuff. So I can put them all in separate views. Please let me know, and I'll see you guys in the comment section. But anyway, let's quickly start building this up. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our index view. So open up your terminal, so PHP artisan make, and we're going to make a Livewire component, and we're going to do that inside the tags folder. And we're going to call that one index. All right, so as you can see, we've got a class and a view created for us. All right, so let's go to the class under app, HTTP, Livewire. Under tags, you will see we got our controller right here. So basically our Livewire component. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use pagination. So we're going to say use with pagination. Just make sure you bring that in, import that at the top. As you can see, it brings it in right there. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to create a public variable called per page. And we're going to set that to 10. The next one is we're going to create a public variable, and we're going to call this one search. This is for the search functionality, and we're going to set that to an empty string for now. Okay. The next one is we're going to create a public variable, and we're going to call this one order by, and we're going to set that by default to use the ID. Okay. And the other one is we're going to do a public order ascending, ASC, and we're going to set that by default to true, like this. All right, now the next thing we need to do is we need to be able to render that tag. Okay, so let's just quickly do this. All right, so what are we going to do is we're going to pass all the tags to this view. All right, so we need to get the tag. So we're just going to do tag, and we're going to create a static method inside basically our tag component called search, basically our tag model called search. And when we pass through, we want to pass this search in there. Search. All right, so we want to pass that to the component. And what we want to do is we want to order that by. So order by. And then we just want to say this order by. So basically the method that we created there. So the public property actually. And we want to say this ascending. We want to check if we call on this method, so order ascending. If it's true, use ASC, else use DASC. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to paginate. We're going to paginate with the amount that we set it right here. So by default, I set it to 10. Okay, so we're just going to do per page. So just to actually, we need to reference as this per page, like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get all the tags. We're going to create that method in a second. Then we're going to check, we're going to pass in the search. We're going to check if the order by default, right, this order by is the ID. So if we change that to be the name, it will search it by that name. And we're going to order by default, it's set to true. So we're going to do order by ascending. So if this is true, set it by ascending. If it's false, just set it descending. And we just want to paginate it this per page. All right, so let's quickly open our tag model and actually create the search method. All right, so just do like this, tag model. Right, let me just give us some room here. So like this, let's open our tag model quickly. Right, in our tag model right here, we're going to create a public static function. So a static function, and we're going to call this one search, and we're going to pass in that search variable like this. Right, so what we're going to do, if the search is empty, all right, so in this case, let's say by default we set it as an empty string. Okay, so what we're going to do, if that search is empty, so we're just going to put empty and we pass in the search variable. Okay, so if it's empty, just do a static query. Okay, so we're just going to do a static and then we're just going to do a query. All right, else, all right, let's put the else in here. Let's put it underneath each other. It will be better to read it actually. So if the search is empty, do this, else we're going to basically do the static query. Static. Let's remove this. We're going to do the query. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to check where. In this case, we're going to check the ID, where the ID is like %, okay, %, and then we can just concatenate the search, and then we can concatenate the % again. All right, so meaning what this is it's got a whole lot of different fields. Let's say you're doing it for the post. Now in this case, we're going to check if the ID is equal to the search result, basically right there. So if we type in 1, we're going to check if the tag is equal to that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to check or where I'm thinking of order, or where the name is like. Going to check the %. Now we can concatenate the search like this. %. All right, so now what we're checking is we're checking where the ID is like the search or where the name is like the search. If you, let's say we're doing like a post, like I said before, you can add a couple of always statements right here. So let's say you've got a title, you can add the title in there or the body like this, and then you can just obviously end it off with a semicolon right here. Okay, but we're not going to make use of that, so I'm just going to delete this. So just for if you guys want to do that for a post or whatever the case might be. Right, so we can check the query. All right, if this is empty, by default we sent an empty string like that. Okay, so it will be empty, so it will just basically return nothing. All right, and if it's not empty, we're going to check where the ID is like that search that we passed through, or where the name is equal to that search. And if you have extra other fields in your database that you want to check, you can do them like here, or with always statements. All right, that's it. All right, so what we're going to do in the next episode, we want to actually work on the table right there. So all the tags that we're going to get, we're going to work on them and basically loop over them, search them, and all that kind of stuff in the next episode. But like I said, let me know if you guys want to see all of this in one view or in different views. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you like it. Questions, feedback, suggestions in the comment section. Thank you guys. See you in the next one. Adios.